All right, in real time that was about 30 minutes. I've got to shape up this cheek piece outline. It's got a big corner right there I got to take out, but I have to start working with some little more delicate tools than that. But I've got that thing down to where it's about less than a 1/16 of an inch all the way around the plastic. This needs to come down a little bit more, a little thinner in the wrist. The grip cap is pretty close. The bottom's pretty close. That saves me a lot of rasping. What I'm going to do, because this is such a big opening, big cavity in here, if I put pressure on this with my vise, I'll squish it. So I'm going to get me a block that fits in here pretty tight and set it in place, and then I can hold it and not crush this. That'll let me hang on to it and put pressure here without crushing it. This is the angle that I see it from, and it's kind of hard to get that view from camera mount over here. But this is what I see. My light is centered, and I'm fixing to lose the center line. I have a center line right here on this, right here in the cone. You can barely see a pencil line. Put me a little scratch mark on that piece of tape. That's my center line. I can connect this dot and this dot if I need to, but I've got it pretty well shaped down. The side of this thing, you don't want it completely totally flat. You want a little bit of curve, just a touch. I've got this wrist down to about 1.4, which is a little over 1 3/8. By the time I get it sanded and smooth, it'll be what I want it, which is about 1 3/8. This grain is kind of weird right here. From the center line this way, I've got to pull it. From the center line this way, it's good with me pushing it. But it is a fool's errand to argue with grain. I will put a comb flute on one side, just on this side. This is obviously a right-handed gun. It's got a cheek piece. I'm not going to put a double flute. I'm just going to put it on one side there. And I will do that after I'm done shaping this. It's difficult to put that in initially, at least for me. I have a hard time working around it. I'd rather go with a smooth shape and then add it. This is a really good quality piece of wood. I don't know where it was grown, but it's a good piece of wood. When you start sanding on it, you can tell the quality of it. Real tight, close grain. Alright, that's the top of the back. From the receiver back on top is done. Now I'll do the bottom. The bottom's got some real pretty grain in it. Good morning. Sorry about the noise in here. We're getting some much needed rain. It's the middle of June and everything is nice and green, and we're very thankful for that here in southeast Tennessee. I'm working on this cheek piece, and now I'm working on the bottom, but whenever you work on the bottom of one with a cheek piece, it runs over into the cheek piece, so you got to sort of do from here to around here all at the same time. And I took a grinder, a disc, and worked this down with a disc. I'm about to need something a little smaller and finer than that, so I'm using a Dremel with a carbide, I don't know what they're called, burr, I guess. I've got a pencil line that I'm going to, or I think I'm going to. I just sketch these things out. They look, whatever looks pretty good to me. I probably ought to have some sort of a pattern, but there's so many different styles of cheek pieces. This is one I kind of came up on my own. It's kind of a Dunton, but the Dunton doesn't flare down right there. And so what I do is I put this little curl on the end of it, and I bring it up into my checkering pattern to where that little ridge dies out and it pokes into the checker. And the checkering actually goes around it. It's a nice effect. A lot of trouble, but it makes for a pretty effect. Also, what I'm doing is I'm mirroring this curve right here with this curve down here. They're opposing curves, and that's common in furniture and architectural design and everything else like that. I've worked the top of this thing down. I've got it pretty smooth on the top, and now I'm coming down and around the side. The key is to get this straight. And this straightness comes up to along in here, and then it starts to, you go from straight here to this curve. By straight, I mean this line here is straight, but this one is not straight. It's parallel. This line, the bottom line, and this bottom of the cheek piece are parallel for a while, and then this one veers away from it. It's almost like this is the compass point for that arc. It's kind of like, it's just a visual effect, but this, where the grip cap and the bottom of the stock meet in this crotch, is the compass, the axis of this arc that curves around and down. I don't know if that made any sense to y'all, but that's what I do. Can't really tell if I've got this thing symmetrical right side, left side until I flip it up and look at it with the light in the middle. But that's close.